Hola mi gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Me llamo David y bienvenidos a 15 for Coffee, donde llevamos el inglés que ya sabes y aplicarlo directamente en tu trabajo para éxito en negocios. ¡Vamos! Today we're going to go through how to get ready for a meeting. I guarantee you if you go through these steps, it's going to help you be more confident when speaking English in a business situation. Let's focus on the things that we control and not worry about the things that are out of our control. One of the things we definitely control when we're going to a meeting or we're going to go to an event is how we prepare for the event, right? So, I'm going to an event tomorrow at a place called Venture Cafe in Monterrey, and it's Monterrey, Mexico. And I assume everyone will be speaking Spanish for the most part. I'm sure they will also be speaking some English, but I've never been there before. So I'm going to get ready for that meeting. And even though I'm going to an event that's in Spanish and I speak English, you can apply the same idea when you have a meeting in English, whether that's a Zoom call or a video call, whatever you're using, an in-person event, a lunch, maybe it's just a quick meeting for coffee. Maybe they only have 15 minutes. Anyway, so what we're going to look at today is how to get ready, how to focus on what we control. And there's a really important lesson that we need to think about when we speak a second language for business purposes. The person that closes the deal, that has the most influence, that is the most successful, is hardly the person with the best vocabulary or the best pronunciation, the highest test score. Sure, all of that is important, but what really matters is how you use your language to connect with other people. And that's what we're going to talk about, and that's what we're going to focus on so that we can make the connections first. This has a lot of benefits that we'll go into more detail, but first, let's get ready for our meeting. So our first step is something I discussed the other day, and that is know your audience. Understand who you're talking to, understand who you're with. Let's take a look at the website for Venture Club. So I'm going to come over here to my laptop, and we're going to look up Venture Club Monterrey. Pretty sure I have a link here. Here we are, Venture Cafe. See? I'm walking around tomorrow saying Venture Club. This is why the first step is to do our research on our audience. You obviously have internet, otherwise you wouldn't be listening to this. But here's their website. I like their copy: connect, learn, and share. In Venture Club, we connect innovators to make things happen all over the world. So that's great. I like that mission. I like that copy. It's simple. I can understand what they do. And it looks like they have a video of events. It looks like a lot of people in a building, and I think she's one of the people that runs it in the video, because I reached out and I got them on WhatsApp. Okay, Venture Club, this is what they are. Okay. So let's go to the About page, About Us, About Venture Cafe. Have this on English. Partnering with companies and organizations within Monterrey and beyond. They have a Thursday gathering. That's what we're going to go to tomorrow, is the Thursday gathering, where I will serve as an ambassador, which basically means that I'm a volunteer, I believe. That's what it means. All right, cool. Yeah, it's promoted by Tecnológico de Monterrey, which is a university here. Innovation in the ecosystem, connecting innovators to make things happen through high impact programs, spaces, storytelling, and a broad commitment to innovation. Okay, cool. So we're going to go check this out. Okay, so now we know our audience. We have people that are organizing innovators, which could mean a lot of things, but I'm assuming it means business people that are looking at international business. At least that's where my mind is going anyway at this point. That's step number 1. Okay, now we're going to move on to step number 2. We're going to set our goals for the meeting. Now, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be volunteering at a table or doing some type of task that helps with the event, running the event, which is really cool. I think that's a good way to start with an organization, is to work there, basically, right? My number 1 goal is going to be to serve. That's my number 1 goal. If I walk away out of there with nothing but knowing that I went in and I was able to help some people out and make people have a good experience and help facilitate this mission that they're on, that's good. So the great thing about that being my goal is it takes a lot of pressure off of anything else that I might want to focus on too much. Things that maybe I don't control. I can influence, but I don't control, like finding customers or making contacts or making connections. Like, that would be great. I want to focus on a simple goal up front, like service. It takes a lot of pressure off of me, and I can just focus on that. That's just my first goal. My second goal is adding value and making connections. I want to be able to enhance something. I want to make something better for somebody and also make a connection with them in the process. So being able to welcome someone the right way and give them a nice smile, something that is going to enhance the experience for other people and add value. I also want to make connections. So I have these goals. I'm going to this event for business purposes, but I have these non-business goals to start with. My third and final goal, and probably the most important goal, and I really want to hit this goal, but it's not my main focus, is to understand what success looks like for this organization and how can I help them reach that vision? How can I help them succeed? First, understanding what success is for them, and then trying to understand how I can be a part of that success. That joint effort goes a long way. So those are my 3 goals. My first goal, serve. My second goal, add value and make connections. And my third goal is to understand what success means and how can I help with that success. Now that I have my goals, I want to set up some questions. I want to ask questions that help me uncover all of these needs for people so that I can serve, so that I can add value, so that I can make connections. So what I want to do is write down 5 open-ended questions. When I say open-ended, what I mean are questions that you cannot answer with a yes or no, and they leave an opportunity for the person answering to explain themselves and give a little bit more feedback and context to what their answer is. So we're going to write 5 open-ended questions. And I already went and wrote mine, so I'm going to read them off to you guys. I'm going to start off with my favorite question because I like it a lot, and it's the first one I saw when I looked down at the paper. And I write pencil a lot. I feel like writing with pencil and preparing this way activates part of your brain that the computer doesn't. The screen does not activate. It's a different way to learn. It's a different way to connect. My number 1 question is, and this is going to be more for someone that I'm talking to with the organization, is what does success look like? You know, with these questions, you can add a little bit of context around them and say, you know, especially if it's someone you just met, be like, so what are you passionate about? Like, what kind of hobbies do you have? You know, instead of just saying, what are you passionate about? You can say that, and that's fine, but you can also add in this kind of helper question. Like, it comes in afterwards. It's a helper question. This is more for like building rapport with people that you just met. A good first question is, so how did you get involved with the organization? Who was the first person you met here? What do you like most about these events? What do you hope to accomplish from attending these events? Now, the reason we want to ask a lot of questions is because we want to add to other people's experience. We know what we know. We're coming into these situations to grow and to learn about other people. So you want to have questions that are genuinely curious. And that's a very important factor when you, especially when you're using a second language, you really want to give them these emotional deposits. Even though you might lack in the language or you might make mistakes, all that is immediately overlooked if someone feels like you care. If someone feels like you're genuine, they don't care what you sound like. They don't care if you have bad English or you think you have bad English. That's why you want to have questions that demonstrate genuine curiosity and empathy to meet the goals that you have. And in our example today, our goal is to serve. Our goal is to add value and make connections. And then finally, our goal is to learn about how to solve someone else's problems. Okay, so there we have it. We know our audience. We know who we're speaking to. We know what our goals are. We know what we're focusing on. And we have the questions as a way to achieve those goals and make those emotional deposits to create those connections. The next step is actually physically preparing your body and presentation for the event. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, guys, we're back. I'm gonna come into the bedroom, and we're gonna get clothes ready. Now, don't judge me, but this place isn't super clean. So what I'm going to go with probably, I'm going to get my clothes ready. So first I'm going to get just like a nice white shirt. That's it. Something simple, professional. It's, for me, I like that. I'm kind of more of a simple style, like these t-shirts. This shirt is from Cuts. It's a really great shirt. It has a nice finish to it. It has a good fit. It has hemming on it. I mean, I could literally wear this to the event. I have some Lululemon pants and some dark black Vans, but I'm not wearing that tomorrow. Cuts is a really great shirt. Check out the promo code in there, and you can get a discount on your first purchase. Anyway, enough about Cuts. I like this white shirt. I have a pair of slacks. Let me get those out. Actually, let me get this set up here. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do is not only are we getting ready with our questions that we wrote down, we have our goals, we have everything written down, we have our we're in the right mental space to be prepared for this meeting, and we're also going to get ready with our language. So we're going to, after we get this step here, we're going to go back and do the language part, which I skipped. I skipped that part. I forgot it because I'm doing the same thing you guys are doing, but I'm just doing it opposite. So I'm doing it in Spanish. I mean, I'm speaking Spanish when I go to the events, but more than likely, if you're from Monterrey or you're from Mexico and you see me, you're probably going to start practicing your English, which gets me out of my Spanish. But I have a cure for that as well, and that involves me speaking Spanish, you speaking English. It's a compromise. It's a compromise. Okay, so what we're going to get out is this. I could go something a little more colorful, but I like the simple. Ready? We're just going to do a white shirt. I have a suit. I might do the suit. But I want to get my clothes ready. I want to make sure I have things like I have my dress socks. I have my shirt. I have a pair of Here's a pair of nice black shoes, just simple black shoes. That's all you need. Now, if you don't have these different items, see what you have. Now, I've been in finance and I've worked in this professional kind of scene for many, many years. So for me, it's a little different. I have a lot of this stuff. A suit jacket. I have a suit. So basically, and then my pants. Let me get my pants out. Okay. Wish I could fucking pause this video. It's so annoying. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay, and I have a pair of slacks here. Excuse me, slacks. We call dress pants slacks in the United States. All right, cool. So again, now I have a layout here. Here's my layout. I have my slacks, some socks, and my white shirt. Now, for this event, this is all I'm going to wear. If it was a little bit more formal, based on the video I saw, it looks pretty laid back. So I think just wearing that I'll look nice, but I won't look like I'm trying super hard. Be the best dressed person in the room, but like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, again, I like this style too. This is like my office wear, bro. You know what I'm saying? But this is more kind of professional. My room's kind of messy, so. But here's the setup right here. Slacks, a white shirt. Again, if you don't have if you don't have all these pieces, don't worry about it. Focus on what you can control. What are you gonna wear? Is it a shirt? Is it a button-up shirt? Is it a t-shirt? Make sure that you clean it. It's ironed. You have your clothes. Even if you don't have great clothes, lay out the clothes. Get ready, because it mentally prepares you for what you're doing, okay? Make sure before you get there, because the last thing you want to do before you go somewhere is increase your anxiety because you don't know what to wear and you're worried that it doesn't look nice. Do this the night before. It will take a lot of stress away from you, and you're going to look a lot nicer, and you're going to be a lot more comfortable and calm. Hey guys, what's up? We're back in the kitchen / office / living room / whatever photography studio. So we're going to an event that I expect most people will be speaking Spanish. I want to get ready with some Spanish business vocabulary. So I'm going to get online and I'm going to start thinking of, come on. So I'm going to jump on here. I'm going to get on my Spanish translator on Google. And what are some business words here that we're going to think of? So I'm going to an event, networking. How do you say networking in Spanish? Redes. So here's my Spanish. So I'm going to write this down, okay? Spanish business words. Spanish business words. Spanish business words. Venture Club. Networking. Redes. Redes. And also, as we go through this, and because I'm working directly with Spanish speakers who are learning English and I'm learning Spanish, if you hear me make a mistake, leave a comment, let me know, send us an email, message us. I want to help you guys, and if you guys can help me too, then that's great. I think that's what this is about. It's about finding a mutual ground where our passions overlay our actions. Back to our vocabulary. Networking. It says redes, 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 redes. There's a big difference between speaking Spanish and speaking English. Spanish is very much here, it's very much articulation, and it's obviously quicker. English, you can take your time. You don't need to rush. You can take your time and say, well, I think that this idea is marvelous. The marvelous kind of popped a little bit more because I said it louder, and also I took a lot of time between the words that led up to it so that it turned into a release of energy when I said it. So don't feel you need to rush. Take your time and speak your mind. So let's keep going. What's another word? Startup. I bet you it's the same. Puesta en marcha. Marcha. Startup. Puesta en marcha. Now, of course, the word you find online might not be the word people actually use. I know that's really common in Spanish, and it's common in English as well. You might use a word that people aren't used to hearing. So let's think of a question that I might want to ask somebody. So let's look at my questions that I had, and I need to translate these questions. So when you write your questions, feel free to write your questions in Spanish as though you would ask them in Spanish. I mean, obviously, if you can write them in English, write them in English. But it's really important that you get the mindset of the question. And if it's easier for you to get that real pure mindset of why you're asking the question, of that genuine curiosity and empathy, for you to write it in Spanish first, and then translate it into English, or just speak it in English. Okay, does that make sense? So what I did when I thought of my questions, I thought of them in English. Now I'm going to translate them into Spanish. So let's look at one of them. What got you most excited today? What got you most excited today about work? You know what? Actually, my favorite question comes from one of my buddies named Jace, who I probably will talk about in these videos a lot, because he has a lot of good insight with customer service. And one of the things he says that he likes to ask people question is, what are your top 3 favorite things that happened today? So in Spanish, they're telling us it is ¿Cuáles son tus 3 cosas favoritas que sucedieron hoy? ¿Cuáles son tus 3 cosas favoritas que sucedieron hoy? Now, no, I don't know if you're going to say it like that in Spanish, but the idea is there, right? Another question I'm going to ask is, I want to know is, what are you most excited about in your field right now? So, ¿qué es lo que más te entusiasma en tu campo en este momento? So I'm going to write that down. And on these, I might just copy these because I don't want to. So I'm going to open up a Google Doc here, and I'm going to say, we're going to do meeting prep for Venture Club. And, actually, we should do this earlier. We'll do this. You want to do this right away. So when we start, we're going to put all of our goals on this document. So also, our topic tomorrow, I think, is digital currency. So I'm not super, I know what digital currency is. I know Bitcoin. So that will be interesting to learn about that a little bit more. But I do have a finance background, so I do understand the investment side of the trading side, the exchange side of the business. So digital currency is the event. Okay, our questions. Here's the first one. We're going to say, ¿Qué es lo más en este momento? We're going to fix this. ¿Qué es lo que más te entusiasma en tu campo en este momento? So in English, we're going to say, what are you most excited about in your field right now? So in English, what are you most excited about right now in your field? Let's get involved. So I want to do, when did you start coming to Venture Club? ¿Cuándo empezaste a venir a Club Venture? So I want to know, when did they start coming? And the reason I want to know that is because I might have, my follow-up question is, who invited you? ¿Quién te invitó? Invito. So, when did you start coming here? You could also ask, how did you find out about this event? That's always a good question because you learn about their experience. You know, you learn about, oh, I know that person. Oh, I just met that person. Is that person over there? Oh, yeah, they're cool. Okay, cool. Now you have a shared connection. You went from not knowing this person to now knowing the same person. And saying, oh, that's the first person I met when I got here. I met them too. Isn't that funny? We just met the same person. We just had that story. And it's all from a simple question. It's not a complicated question. It's, what is the question? I forgot. It is, who invited you? When did you start coming to the club? How did you start? How did you first get involved? What do you hope to, you know, why do you come here? Like, what do you hope to get? Like, what are you hoping happens from coming here? You know, what are people's expectations? Understanding people's expectations is super powerful. Once you can understand their expectations, then you can provide solutions that meet and exceed those expectations. A lot of people, what they do is they don't understand people's expectations and they just go around and they say whatever they think is important or whatever they think adds value without knowing really what it is that the other person needs to hear or that they need as a solution. So I have like 3 or 4 questions. Another way, instead of just asking a question, is to make a statement or a command and position it as a question. For example, tell me about your new business. Oh, you just got married? Tell me about your family. Tell me about the wedding. Tell me about your day. It's a question, but it's from a different perspective. It comes as a statement. So it's a little variety because you don't want to sit there and just ask someone question after question after question. This way you could mix up questions with statements and still have the same type of flow without sounding like you're just asking a lot of questions or coming across like you're interviewing somebody. But if you're asking good open-ended questions here, you're going to really elicit a response. My goal with my questions is that people have a vision. I ask questions that people start to think and look at things in a different way. If I can ask a question that helps someone solve an old problem or look at something in a new way, not only do I feel great about helping that person, but I know that that person is going to remember our conversation and they're going to remember that there was value from our interaction. And if there's further business purposes that can be accomplished, mutually beneficial business purposes, and that person already starts to trust me, that's a great situation for future business to occur. So I want to create these questions in these environments where people feel heard, they feel understood, and all of this falls into what we do control. You might not have the best English, you might not have the best pronunciation, but damn it, you know how to get ready for your meetings, you know how to get into the minds and hearts and souls of other people and really be an advocate for solutions for others. If you can do that, it doesn't matter how good your English is. You're going to kill it. You're going to crush it, and people are going to love you. So this is how I would prepare for a meeting. I'll see you guys later. We're going to go to Venture Club tomorrow. We'll get a little dressed up tomorrow, and we're going to head out there, and we'll show you what that is all about and how I'm feeling after our preparation. So thanks for sticking around. If you like this type of content, if you are a Spanish-speaking professional who is learning English for business purposes and you want to make quicker connections for business success, follow here. I'm your guy. Me llamo David. Que la vaya bien. Ciao.